Hello everybody in YouTube land. How's everybody doing? This will be part 2 of Noel or Holy Yule Batman. I want to take a quick trip back in American history, back during colonial times. When you think of people who founded America's original settlements in New England, what comes to mind? People feasting on Thanksgiving-style dinner? Struggling for survival through harsh winter weather? Praying to Elohim for guidance? Well, here's something you most likely have never been taught in school or even church. Many of these same Christians who founded America actually banned the celebration of Christmas. Christmas was banned in America not by any representatives or the American Civil Liberties Union, but by Christians themselves. It was actually against the law to observe Christmas, and people could be fined if they happened to take part in any celebration. The original colonists believed it was an insult to Elohim to honor a date associated with ancient paganism. Most Americans today are unaware that Christmas was banned in Boston from 1659 to 1681. Many people that celebrate Christmas do not know the fact that the original colonies did not celebrate Christmas, just like they don't know about all the pagan elements of the celebration. Deuteronomy 7:25-26 states, "The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared by it, for it is an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim. And do not bring an abomination into your house." Let me read that again. "And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed by it, like it. Utterly loathe it and hate it, for it is accursed." Does verse 25 remind you of another verse in Scripture? It will be a shame to do a video series about Christmas and not include Jeremiah 10 in it. So I'm going to read Jeremiah 10, 1 through 15. Verse 1. "Hear the word which Yahweh speaks to you, O house of Yisrael. Thus said Yahweh, do not learn the way of the Gentiles, and do not be awed by the signs of the heavens, for the Gentiles are awed by them. For the prescribed customs of this people are worthless, for one cuts down the tree from the forest, work for the hands of a craftsman with a cutting tool. They adorn it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails and hammers so that it does not topple. They are like a rounded post, and they do not speak. They have to be carried because they do not walk. Do not be afraid of them, for they do no evil, nor is it in them to do any good. There is none like you, O Yahweh. You are great, and great is your name in might. Who would not fear you, O sovereign of the nations? For this is your due. From among all the wise of the nations, and in their reigns, there is none like you. They are both brutish and foolish. An instrument of worthlessness is the tree. Silver is beaten in places. It is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Euphaz. The work of the craftsman and of the hands of the smith, draped in blue and purple, all of them are the work of skilled ones. But Yahweh is truly Elohim. He is a living Elohim and the everlasting sovereign. At his wrath the earth shakes, and nations are unable to stand his displeasure. Say to them this, the Allah that did not make the heavens and the earth shall perish from the earth and from under the heavens, these heavens. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom, and has stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he makes his voice heard, there is a roaring of waters in the heavens, and he makes vapors rise from the ends of the earth. The lightnings for rain he has made, and brings wind from his treasuries. Everyone is brutish in knowledge. Every smith is put to shame by his idol. For his molded image is falsehood, and there is no spirit in them. They are worthless, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment they perish." It is funny during this time of the year that many people will all of a sudden get religious that normally aren't. They will even defend the pagan traditions of men when they normally could care less with spiritual matters. Last year, during Christmas time, I posted a video about the pagan elements of Christmas on my Facebook fan page, on my Facebook wall, and one of my former coworkers commented, "You kill me." She's one of those people that say, "I don't keep Christmas for the pagan reasons." After she put her comment, I commented back and asked her, "Did you actually watch the video?" And what did she say? She said, "No, I'm scared to." How sad is that people have the attitude, "Don't confuse me with the facts." 2 Kings 23:7. And he broke down the houses of the male cult prostitutes that were in the house of Yahweh, where the women wove tapestries for the Asherah. This is a very interesting verse because it shows how blatant Israel was with their worship of other mighty ones, even in the house of Yahweh. Although this example is not inside someone's home, it still shows the worship of Asherah and Asherah's worship with decorations. Let's look at another example of Asherah type worship. Isaiah 44:14 through 19. He cuts down cedars for himself and takes cypress and oak, which he raised among the trees of the forest. He has planted a pine, and the rain nourishes it. And it shall be for a man to burn, for he takes some of it and warms himself. He also kindles it and shall make bread. He also makes a mighty one and bows himself to it. He has made a carved image and falls down before it. Half of it shall burn in the fire, and this half he eats meat. He roasts a roast and is satisfied. He also warms himself and says, "Aha! I am warm. I have seen the fire." And the rest of it he makes into a mighty one. His carved image, he falls down before it and worships it. Prays to it and says, "Deliver me, for you are my mighty one." They do not know nor understand, for he has smeared their eyes from seeing and their hearts from understanding. And no one recalls it to his heart, nor is there knowledge nor understanding to say, "I have burned half of it in the fire, and I have also baked breads on its coils. I have roasted meat and eaten it, and I shall make the rest of it an abomination? Should I fall down before a log of wood?" I saw these verses on an online article talking about Asherah. I was buying everything the author was selling until they said it is okay for Christians to bring a Christmas tree into their homes because it is not a sin. Here's the author's exact quote. Quote, "Christians should know that they can use a Christmas tree with a good conscience. It is unfortunate and wrong when well-meaning Christians call something sin that is not sin, and enslave the consciences of their fellow believers with imaginary sin. Shame on such Christians. Those who continue to believe that the Christmas tree is pagan and sinful, even after having their conscience clearly informed." Where'd they get that information from? It wasn't from Yahweh. Should not use them, for it is not right to sin against conscience. This is regrettable, however, since there is absolutely nothing wrong with using a Christmas tree. This author is 100% incorrect. Having a Christmas tree in your house is sin. Let me read the verses in Deuteronomy 7 again. Show that I've already read. Deuteronomy 7:25-26. The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared by it, for it is an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it. Utterly loathe it and utterly hate it, for it is accursed. So let's look at some other examples of Israel worshiping trees in scriptures. Deuteronomy 12:1-3. And the words "under every green tree" is going to appear a lot. Verse 1. These are the laws and right rulings which you guard, to do in the land which Yahweh your Elohim of your fathers is giving you to possess all the days that you live on the soil. Completely destroy all the places where the nations which you are dispossessing serve their mighty ones, on the high mountains and on the hills and under every green tree. And you shall break down their altars and smash their pillars and burn their asherim with fire. You shall cut down the carved images of their mighty ones and shall destroy their name out of that place. Isaiah 57:1-5. The righteous one has perished, and no one takes it to heart. And kind men are taken away, while no one understands that the righteous one is taken away from the presence of evil. He enters into peace. They who walk in integrity rest on their beds. But come here, you sons of the sorceress, you offspring of the adulterer and the whore. Against whom are you sporting? Against whom do you make a wide mouth and stick out the tongue? Are you not the children of transgression, offspring of falsehood, being inflamed with mighty ones under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys under the clefts of the rocks? Jeremiah 2, 1 through 20. Verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Go, and you shall cry in the hearing of Jerusalem, saying, Thus said Yahweh, I remember you, the kindness of your youth, the love of your bridehood, when you went after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was set apart to Yahweh. The first fruits of his increase, all who ate it became guilty. Even came upon them, declares Yahweh. Evil became upon them, declares Yahweh. Hear the word of Yahweh, O house of Jacob, and all the clans of the house of Israel. Thus said Yahweh, What unrighteousness have your fathers found in me, that they have gone far from me, and went after worthlessness, and became worthless? And did not they say, Where is Yahweh, who brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim, who led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and pits, through a land of drought and the shadow of death, in a land that no one passed through, and where no one dwelt? Then I brought you into a garden land to eat its fruit and its goodness. But when you entered, you defiled my land and my inheritance, an abomination. The priests did not say, Where is Yahweh? And those who handle the Torah did not know me. And the shepherds transgressed against me. And the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after matters that did not profit. Therefore I shall contend to you, declares Yahweh, and with your children's children I contend. For pass beyond the isles of Kittim and see, and send to Kedar and observe well, and see if there has been any like this. Has a nation changed its mighty ones, which are not mighty ones? But my people have changed my esteem for that which does not profit. Be amazed, O heavens, at this, and be frightened, be utterly dried up, declares Yahweh. For my people have done two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, to hew out for themselves cisterns, cracked cisterns, which do not hold water. Is Israel a servant? Was he born in the house? Why is he given to plunder? The young lions roared at him. They growled, and made his land waste. His cities have been burned without inhabitant. Even the sons of Noph and of Tahpanhes have shaven the crown of your head. Have you not done this to yourself by forsaking Yahweh your Elohim when he led you in the way? And now, why take the way of Mitzrayim to drink the waters of Shihor? Or why take the way to Ashur to drink the waters of the river? Your own evil instructs you, and your backslidings reprove you. Know therefore and see that it is evil and bitter that you have forsaken Yahweh your Elohim, and that my fear is not in you, declares the Master Yahweh of hosts. For of old you have broken your yoke, and tore of your bonds, and you said, I am not serving you, when on every high hill and under every green tree you lay down a whore. Continuing in the next chapter, 6 through 13. Jeremiah 3, 6 through 13. And Yahweh said to me, in the days of Yoshayahu the sovereign, have you seen what backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up on every high mountain and under every green tree, and there committed whoring. And after she had done all these, I said, Return to me. But she did not return, and her treacherous sister Yehudah saw it. And I saw that for all the causes for which backsliding Israel had committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a certificate of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Yehudah did not fear, but went and committed whoring too. And it came to be, through her frivolous whoring, that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and wood. And yet for all this her treacherous sister Yehudah has not turned to me with all her heart, but falsely, declares Yahweh. And Yahweh said to me, Backsliding Israel has shown herself more righteous than treacherous Yehudah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, Return, O backsliding Israel, declares Yahweh. I shall not look on you in displeasure. For I am kind, declares Yahweh, and I do not bear a grudge forever. Only acknowledge your crookedness, because you have transgressed against Yahweh your Elohim, and you have scattered your ways to strangers under every green tree, and you have not obeyed my voice, declares Yahweh. It's easy to see in the scripture that Israel has a vast history of serving Yahweh, then rebelling against Yahweh, and serving other mighty ones. During those many times of rebellion, they worship the host of heaven and even worship Yahweh's creation, or every green tree. We can see that in all the verses in Jeremiah and Isaiah that we just read. Let's see another example. In Ezekiel 6, 1 through 4. Actually, 1 through 13 all the way. I'm going to stop at 4. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face toward the mountains of Israel, and prophesy against them. And you shall say, O mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Master Yahweh. Thus said the Master Yahweh to the mountains, to the hills, to the ravines, and to the valleys. Look, I myself am bringing a sword against you. I shall destroy your high places, and your altars shall be ruined. Your sun pillars shall be broken in pieces, and I shall make your slain fall in front of your idols. Here we see Israel worshiping the sun. Verse 5. And lay the corpses of the children of Israel in front of their idols, and scatter your bones all around your idols. In all your dwelling places the cities shall be destroyed, and the high places deserted, so that your altars are broken and bear their punishment. And your idols shall be smashed and made to cease, and your sun pillars cut down, and your works blotted out. And the slain shall fall in your midst, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. But I shall leave a remnant, in that some of you shall escape the sword among the Gentiles, when you are scattered throughout the lands. And those of you who escape shall remember me among the Gentiles where they have been taken captive, because I have broken their adulterous heart, which has turned away from me, and by their eyes, which hoard after their idols. And they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have done in all their abominations. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, and not for naught have I spoken to do this evil to them. Thus said the Master Yahweh, strike your hand and stamp your feet and say, Alas, because of all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, who shall fall by the sword, by scarcity of food, and by pestilence. He who is far off shall die by pestilence, he who is near fall by the sword, and he who is left over and is besieged die by scarcity of food. And I shall complete my wrath upon them. You shall know that I am Yahweh, whether slain or among their idols, all around their altars, on every high hill, on all the mountaintops, under every green tree, and under every thick oak, wherever they offered sweet incense to all their idols. Here again we see Israel worshiping the sun deities under every green tree. There's some heavy language in this chapter from Yahweh when he judged Israel for what they were doing. So many people on December 25th are worshiping the sun with the traditions of men they're practicing, whether they know it or not. The bad part is a lot of people celebrate Christmas when they know it's pagan in origin, but they still choose to observe it.